Okay, I would like you to introduce yourself, including which school you are from, which position you are running for, and what positions have you held in the past.
Okay, my name is Kent Tong. I'm from Loyola University, New Orleans. I'm a studio art major, film minor, and I'm 22 years old, running for president of UVSA Gulf Coast. Um, and previous leadership experience include LASO, which is the Loyola Asian Student Organization. I was internal vice president, and then current advisor. Camp Delta, I was an assistant counselor and on the marketing team. And then the following year I was a counselor, and the following year I was a director. And UNAFSA, I'm currently on the Council of Regional Representatives for the Gulf Coast with my co-core TT. And I'm on UNAFSA 13 conference staff for our family committee. And UVC Gulf Coast, I was the PR intern under Victoria for about a year, and then I became core with TT last September. So those are all of it.
Gotcha. Okay. As you know, a term for a Gulf Coast UVSA position is 2 years. If you win your nomination, what do you hope to accomplish in your 2 years?
Okay, so there's a lot that I want to do, but the main things I can think of is make sure that our organization is sustainable and has a foundation, because right now it's pretty shaky, in my opinion. We need to be more culturally aware and be more involved with not just our culture, but the Vietnamese community, like the ones in New Orleans and Mississippi, Alabama. I want us to be able to not just, because how UVSA has been working the past few years is like eBoard has done everything, and realistically eBoard can't do everything. We need to have support from the region, therefore, which we can talk later. I think you have more questions, but I was gonna bring up like the cabinet positions and staff positions for like events, and to build more leadership in our region, because right now like the only opportunity people have for leadership is either be on eBoard, and if you don't make it on eBoard, you have to wait a whole year to do it again, or Camp Delta, which the same thing. You either get to go to Camp Delta, or you have to wait a year to go because you couldn't go, or be on staff for Camp Delta, or wait a year to apply again because you didn't get on. So we need more opportunity for people to grow. So those are my main things, basically to build more leadership and support for Gulf Coast, as well as make sure we can stand on our own.
Okay. Describe some of your strengths and weaknesses for this position you applied for.
So I was president before for LASO, but at that time I was not prepared. Like I did not plan to be president ever. And then because someone else was primed for like a couple of years to be president, and then you know, like it was kind of last minute. They didn't want to do it anymore. Therefore, I was the only person who could step up to do it. And I didn't have any leadership skills. You know, I made a lot of mistakes that year, and but I took that as an opportunity to grow. I know one of my biggest weaknesses then was delegation, because I like to do everything on my own, and then that didn't work out. So I know that I've learned now that to delegate better, which I was able to use for my time as Camp Delta director. Transparency, that went along the lines of I wasn't really transparent with my eBoard at the time because I like to do everything on my own, and I was just like, all right, I'll handle it. But then because of that experience, you know, I learned to be more transparent, which I again use during my experience as director for camp, and then I would like to use for my presidency. In terms of actual weaknesses, still I'm pretty okay, or not that good at like actual sponsorship stuff, or like trying to ask for money. You know, like that's not really my strength. And I think other people have a handle of that better than me. I know Laura, she's really good at getting money and finding sponsorship at the moment. And I would say handling money, budgeting, like I would rather have someone who's more professional to do that, which is what a treasurer would be for. So thankfully, I can delegate that task to my treasurer. So I know, for me, I feel like my biggest weaknesses are sponsorship and dealing with money and budgeting.
Okay. As president, you may be given tasks or goals that may be too large for one to accomplish by themselves. What experiences do you have with delegation?
My biggest experience is with Camp Delta, because like I think a problem that a lot of people who aren't used to working like on a visa e-board or a camp is that they might feel that a president either does all the work or they feel like they're not doing enough work. But over the past couple of years through my presidency experience and Camp Delta experience, I used all of that when I became director last year, and I learned that I can't do everything, and that's why a director is there, because the director has the vision, but you need to be able to delegate it to your other directors. That's why we have marketing director, logistics director, and stuff. Like they have their own specific roles that they should do, and that I shouldn't be the main person in charge of, but I can still have my opinion and my views on their tasks. But it's my responsibility to let them do what they should do in their particular role. And so I think that Camp Delta director experience really helped me learn how to delegate. And in my opinion, it was a pretty successful term as director.
Okay. What led to your desire to run for president?
Okay, so I know UVSA has like been looking for successors for a long time. Because of the way the past few years has been handled, it was a little shaky. They were kind of worried that no one would want to take over, because no one wants to take over something that doesn't have foundation, because then it would be up to you to start everything yourself, and that's really hard. And that's one of the reasons that kept me from applying for EBOR in general. But then a lot of things has happened lately where like I felt like if I really care about VSA, which I really do, then and if no one else steps up to make the change that I want to see, then it's up to me to do the change. It's up to me to step up and enact a change with others who want to see the organization be better as well. And also, I think because of I've been more involved with UNAFSA this past year than I have other years, and just seeing how other regions can be and like working with all these other VSA members from across the continent, it makes me see what Gulf Coast can be, or UVSA Gulf Coast can be. And I want us to be just as united and as strong as other regions and have our own foundation.
Okay. Being a part of Gulf Coast UVSA's e-board, you'll hear criticism directed at your board and maybe even yourself. How would you handle this criticism?
I think criticism is good, because if you feel like you're doing everything right, or like you only have one view of something, you can get kind of a big ego, and it might be worse for you to not have another opinion. I know that as a leader, like there's no one right way to be a leader, and everyone has their own different opinion. And I got my fair share of criticism as president and as director. And there are many other leaders in our community who I view very highly, but then other people might have a different opinion of them. They might be very critical of them, and I might not understand why, or I could understand why, but that shows that no matter how good of leader someone can be, there's always something that won't satisfy certain people. And I think you can use that criticism to help you become a better leader. It's better to have an open mind, to be able to see other people's points of view, so that you can improve that aspect that they're criticizing. So I just think it's better to be more well-rounded and have different opinions.
Okay. And do you have any closing words? I know you said you wanted to talk about something earlier.
Wait, what was the last sentence you said?
Do you have any closing remarks for your interview? Like anything you wanted to touch base on? Maybe something you might bring to the table that hasn't been seen before at UVSA? Anything you want to talk about?
I Well, let's see. I feel like I've already done certain things for USA that can qualify me for president. The biggest thing I can think of is that Constitution, which we didn't have a Constitution for 2 years. And so recently I initiated writing a Constitution, and it's kind of like it restructured the way USA works from now on. And that goes into how I want to run UVSA for the following 2 years. And luckily, every school in the Gulf Coast, all 10 schools said yes, despite the fact that we weren't the best organization for them, but they're giving us another chance. And I just hope, it works well, where I hope all the externals and the ICC that we're going to be starting will take it seriously. And I mean, I'm just excited to work with all these people because I'm not really supportive of people who do VSA stuff just for the fun of it or for the resume. Like, I know I started LASO just because my friends were in LASO, but I quickly grew into like someone who actually cared about VSA and more than just like for your resume or for fun. Like, it's something that can change people. And I know, certain people who are running for other positions for UVSA are people who actually care about improving UVSA and improving, VSA in our region. So I'm just excited to work with the other e-board members who get elected, as well as the other VSA e-boards who are starting the new term. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for taking time out for this interview, and hope you have a wonderful day. All right.
Bye.
Later.